Welcome to the Apex. I'm your host, Zell, and of course, we've got knife news. I know we're a day late, and I don't apologize. I should have said something last week, but things are going to get a little back and forth on the Wednesdays, Thursdays, maybe some other days of the week for the Apex. I'm going to try to keep them to Wednesday and Thursday, but we'll see what happens. But my schedule has just gotten, a lot nuts, guys. So I'm having to fit things in where I can, and I absolutely intend to get you guys the Apex because I know so many of you like it and appreciate it, and I appreciate that. But let's move along and see what we've got this week. And first off, for our highlighted content, have you ever found yourself making excuses for the need of a knife purchase? That I need this knife for a specific deal, a specific trip. I need this because of this, etc. Well, that really could be, it could be an addict's mentality. And Slicey Dicey will tell you about it in our featured video this week. And why is that video featured? Because if you go over to the apexnews.com and you click on the show notes, that video will be highlighted. You'll be able to watch it right there, embedded on the apexnews.com. So you need to go check and see if you are an addict. Slicey will help you. And from Knife News, this is a blog and print world, by the way. From Knife News, we have knife steel nerds take a scientific approach to steel testing. It's an interesting, fairly new site that's got a lot of information on steel. Like with any place, I have not, well, let's back up just a little bit. I have not read through everything over there. And I'm going to caution you, just like with anything, including the data sheets that come directly from the manufacturers, be aware that steel testing and all that kind of thing is really a rough thing to do, and you want to have more than one source for your information. I'm not talking about the heat treating end. I'm talking about all the testing stuff about the already heat-treated steel, because so many factors go into it. However, these guys are trying to keep some constants. They're doing a good job, and they're trying to bring you some really good information, so you may want to go check them out. And then from there, we have this Newcomer Todd Knife and Tool, co-founded by some crazy YouTuber guy. Knife News has got an article about that, and if you don't know what Todd Knife and Tool is, well, let's see. There is a Master Chief, and that is a Todd Knife and Tool design. And the Roxy is a Todd Knife and Tool design coming later this year from We Knife Company. And there are more on the way, guys, and Ben has you covered with an article over at Knife News. And then, last but not least, in our blog and print news from over at bladereviews.com, we have an overview of the Demko Knives AD15 MG. And that's got that cool new lock system, or somewhat new now, a lock system on the back of it, that if you have not seen one of the Demko knives, guys, go check it out. See what that is all about, because even if all you do is look at the pictures over there, the pictures of that knife are pretty cool. And then in the video world, we have, over in the IV with the birds, we have the Tangram Brevis Fixer Neck knife. And that's smaller than you think, and I can attest to that, guys. I've got one around here somewhere. And that's essentially why I did not review it, because it is definitely a Frankie-sized knife. And she'll take care of you there. And they also have a Wee slip joint. It's one of the prototypes from Blade Show. And if you have not seen those knives, Wee is taking a bit of a different tact on the modern traditional. They're doing full modern materials, and then of course weave, fit and finish, etc. And it's just really turning out to be what I think is going to be an awesome thing. I know a lot of traditionalists aren't going to like it, but they're trying to bring the traditional knives to a wider market. Say, some guy like me that isn't going to go back to the 70s. And I know a lot of you have questions. Why don't I review more traditional knives? One, I'm not terribly interested in them. And secondly, they are really expensive, and to maintain the value, I can't carry them and use them because they're unfortunately slightly more delicate than, say, you know, slabs of titanium and G10. So I can't resell them very well, and that's why I don't do much with traditional knives. Now, if there's somebody that wants to send traditionals in, I will be happy to review them. And I say all that because I get questions and emails fairly regularly about, hey man, why aren't you doing more traditional knives? And, you know, I try to answer them, but I can't answer everybody's. And that's basically the answer right there. And moving on along, we have the Birds have picked up a sharpness tester. Now, if you go over to Cutlery Lovers YouTube page, you can find that he actually tested that thing a little while ago, and now the Birds have got their hands on one. Pretty interesting setup for making consistent sharpness tests. You know, I'd rather just cut the hair off my arms, but, well, you know, that's because I don't mind looking weird. And then from right here on this channel, we had the Giant Mouse Ace Biblio. And guys, I did talk to Giant Mouse, and they have on their website at giantmouse.com, they have the black Ace Biblio G10 in stock. And getting more looks at it, you want to go get a look at it and be sure. But after getting more looks at it, I'm not going to say it's growing on me, because the micarta is definitely cooler as shown by the sales. But they do have the black one in stock, and they did not know when they would have more micarta in stock. They have reordered. They are in process, but they just kind of got swamped all of a sudden with Blade Show, and the micarta flew away. So they're doing what they can. Sorry, guys. And from Slicey Dicey, we have the Kizer Mini Sheepdog versus the CRKT Pilar. And that's the Blade HQ exclusive pillar. I believe he does have one of the carbon fiber 12C27 and, yeah, carbon fiber and 12C27 pillars. And then he does the Blade HQ pillar versus the original. He's all pillared up this week. And then, of course, he has the Knife Enthusiast Addicted Mentality that was there up at the top. And Stazza23 brings us the Steel Will Resident Elegance for under $100. And that makes for a really cool little, not exactly little, but really cool gents knife. And you want to go check that one out. And then he's got a Berg Blades Iron Pup. How this guy gets a hold of all these knives, I don't know. But the Berg Blade Iron Pup, that one's cool. You're going to want to go see that. And Shortcut Reviews brings us the Polestar. That name just kills me. Polestar. Anyhow, he's got one of his 5-minute reviews about it. And Cedric and Eddie Gear and Outdoors. This week they're taking on the Leatherman Charge Plus. Is it worth it? Get over and see what Pete has to say about it. And then he steps out on the very edge of insanity and takes VG10 to the max. I wouldn't take VG10 to the max. I would take it to, well, you guys know where I'd take it. Yeah. There's some big trucks that come by the house once a week. That's where I'd put it. But anyhow, moving on to Epic Snuggle Bunny. He's got the Guardian Tactical. That sure didn't come out very good, did it? We'll try it again. He's got the Guardian Tactical Recon 035. And that is an OTF knife that's kind of cool looking. And House of Wisdom has the Pena Lanny's Clip X Series. It says it's a Riate home run. And that is another really cool knife. A mix of modern and traditional with that clip point blade. And very good looking. And then Pivot Heads brings us the Best Tech Swordfish with a PhD score of, you'll have to go watch the video yourself. It's only a minute of your time, guys. Get over there and watch it. And JT's Knife Life brings us the ZT Hinderers. Are they better than the actual Hinderers? You guys, some of you already know my opinion. I no longer have an actual Hinderer. Sorry, Rick. I traded my last XM18 for some Microtech stuff. And until Hinderer makes some changes, I don't plan on owning another Hinderer. It's not that I don't love the designs. Some of the designs are absolutely beautiful. But Rick is making knives for a different group of people. And he's not making them for me. He's not making them for the average EDC guy, the guy that may need to use it, to break down boxes or, skin out something or whatever. And, does want it to be a beefy enough knife that if I do need to take care of that box on the way home from someplace downtown, that I can do some cardboard slicing. And Rick's knives fall on the heavier end of that, and it's just a little heavier than what I want anymore. However, if you'd like to know more about the comparison between the ZT Hinderers and the Hinderers, JT's got you covered. And Everyday City Carry brings you, is the Best Tech Pebble rock solid? I don't know. You'll have to go see what ECC has to say about it. And Love Them Knives. He brings us the Tuya knife SNS. And that is actually a super cool little knife. I have a video on it. I'm not sure where it's at. Sorry, Dave. Dave from Tuya Knives, the U.S. rep, sent some of those out for the pass-around groups. And I had some equipment failures, and I'm hunting the video so I can edit it up and bring it to you guys. And I'm hoping that it's somewhere. That's next, right after I get done with this video. And We All Juggle Knives brings us the Tangram, Orion, and Vector knife reviews. $35 to $40 Kizers. We all know the deal with the Tangrams. And I've heard of several people out in the wild with that Acuto 440, and people are seeming to like it, especially at the price point. So there's some deeper stuff with Tangram knives that I don't know enough about yet to talk about. And if I ever do get enough information, we will have a discussion about it. But price versus performance, you really just can't beat what they're doing. And Dr. Frunky brings us the We Knives Blamora Knife Consult. I gotta think about this one, hang on. Vertebral Isham-tegral. Alright, Elijah and Dr. Frunky. Guys, this stuff is getting too complicated to say. I'm your news guy, and I'm trying. But if you're going to write stuff like that, you need to send me a sound file of that stuff so I can say it right whenever we do this, alright? Thank you. And Baz on Blades closes us out this week with the new carbon fiber and 12C27 Pilar, a Blade HQ exclusive. We'll be looking at that one here on this channel here real soon as I can figure out my little hardware snafu and get everything to you guys. Because I've got several locked up in that hardware snafu. The Practic, the Yusha, the Liang Ma XV. Yes, I'm actually going to do a Liang Ma review without it being 12 months past when I got the knife. And anyhow, let's just go with this. Everybody out there, have a wonderful day. Don't forget that the best version of the show notes is always going to be over at theapexnews.com. Click show notes at the top of the page. I don't know how much further we're going to go with that website, but it is definitely for your show notes so that I can get you the best and well-formatted set of show notes for your viewing pleasure and linking pleasure, because that's really what it is a list of links. And you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.